A city called Bengaluru has become a pothole uru. The netas, they bicker over chaddi and knicker. So who'll save this beautiful uru? 5 Live at 5 p.m.
In association with Sensodyne Daily Sensitivity Protection, LIC हर पल आपके साथ। Garden City bruised, battered and broken. Hellscape roads exposed. Garden City Bengaluru cries enough. But netas busy with chaddi politics. One year to polls, citizens in war mode. Bengaluru civic apathy exposed.
The civic apathy in Bengaluru has reached a point where the citizens of the city and the state of Karnataka are basically saying enough. And they have the opportunity to change things. Less than a year to go for the elections. India today had incredible impact on the ground today on one potholed road. And I'm going to show that to you right now on 5 Live. As always, first the headlines. Terrifying escalation over Nupur Sharma's prophet remark. Terror group Al-Qaeda threatens suicide attacks in Delhi, Mumbai, UP and Gujarat. Gangster Kekda, who tipped off the assassins of Sidhu Moosewala, reveals all on his operation. Punjabi singer Makirat Aulak denies role in the murder, reveals a murder threat to him. Rape case, state government vehicle used to rape the minor. The arrested include sons and nephews of Oasis MLA, TRS and AIMIM corporators, even a Waqf board official. Shocking PUBG murder sends shockwaves across India. Juvenile shoots his mother to death in Lucknow for barring him from playing the popular multiplayer shooting game. Indian women cricket captain Mithali Raj brings curtains down on 23-year illustrious career. Says it was the perfect time to retire. Seeks blessings for her second innings. We've got breaking news coming in right at the top of 5 Live this evening. A huge store of strength by the Congress party is coming right up on the 13th of June when Congress MP Rahul Gandhi will be appearing in person before the Enforcement Directorate. Members of Parliament, Pradesh Congress Committee chiefs, General Secretaries, Congress leaders from across the board will all be coming to Delhi to physically be present and be part of a huge Congress show of strength as Congress MP and de facto president of the Congress party makes his appearance before the Enforcement Directorate in the National Herald case. So this is going to be a huge visual protest, a show of strength and a spectacle by the Congress party defending Rahul Gandhi over what they say is state-sponsored vendetta against the Gandhis. Sneha Mordani with me live on this breaking story. Sneha, June 13th is when Rahul Gandhi, who's just returned from a long trip abroad, will be presenting himself in person in front of the Enforcement Directorate. The Congress intends to make it a visual show of strength. So netas from across the country are all going to be converging in Delhi for solidarity and strength to Rahul Gandhi.
Yes, absolutely. And what a display of sycophancy, I would say, Shiv, given the fact that leaders from across the country have been asked to mark their attendance to show solidarity with Rahul Gandhi. The Congress has always maintained that this is a case of political vendetta. Yes, the BJP says that let the ED do its own job. Now, in this case, it's not just any other Neta of the Congress party who's been named in a corruption case involving AJL. It is the Gandhis, and both Sonia Gandhi, the acting president of the Congress party, and Rahul Gandhi, the former president of the Congress party. This is something that is expected, a face-off really between the Congress and the BJP, as the Congress continues to maintain that this is a case of political vendetta. Like I said, it's not just the Gandhis. Previously, they've been very, very senior leaders associated with the Congress party. Oscar Fernandez, for example, who's no more. Even Motilal Vora, who've been summoned by the ED. But now for the ED to question the Gandhis in this case involving involving AJL essentially is something that the Gandhis haven't taken to kindly, saying that this is an attack directly on the legacy of the Gandhis and on the legacy of the Gandhi Nehru Parivar.
Okay, when this invitation has gone out for this attendance to be marked, Sneha, you've covered the Congress very deeply. It obviously leaves them no choice. They've got to drop their pots and pans and come to Delhi. Am I right?
Absolutely, they have to. This is something that the Congress is going to take note of. And let me tell you, Shiv, within the Congress, there is going to be a note on who has been a part of this gathering to show solidarity with Rahul Gandhi. Careful notes are actually made on who really is a part of this. So this is not something that the Congress has just done to send out a message to the BJP, but they're very serious when it comes to issues of this nature. When it involves the Gandhis, that you have to be there to show your solidarity. And this is not the first time that this is happening. In the past as well, when we've had cases similar to this nature in which the Gandhis are personally involved, there's been a show of strength, and that is not something that is unusual in the Congress party.
Not unusual in the Congress party. Rahul Gandhi yesterday visited the family of Sidhu Moosewala. Over a week after the murder took place, his own, assembly candidate in the Punjab elections. Now Rahul Gandhi will be presenting himself before the Enforcement Directorate. Clearly, the idea of victimhood, the idea of state action against the Gandhis is going to be on full display. The Congress party is galvanizing all its forces. We'll be hoping to see this, Sneha, as an opportunity to leverage, sympathy for the Gandhis, to highlight the misuse of agencies, and to somehow maybe hope and pray that this could be, the nth launch pad, as it were, for Rahul Gandhi.
Well, absolutely. Playing the victim card here and trying to garner sympathy in this way, saying that the BJP has stopped at nothing and they don't believe in the opposition, but they treat us as, literally political enemies is the message that the Congress is going to try and put out. And like I said, when it comes to the Gandhis, this always is a sensitive issue. Shiv, several times in the past, when there have been Congress Working Committee meetings involving decisions regarding the choice of the leadership within the Congress party also, there have been similar displays of many Congress leaders coming out, shouting slogans or chanting slogans right outside 24 Akbar Road in support of the Gandhis. Expect similar scenes and protests and dharnas being organized by various groups on this day also, on the 13th, when Rahul Gandhi appears, saying that this is just targeting the Gandhi family.
This is, this is going to be a very, very big show of strength. That's for sure, because the Congress is fighting an existential crisis. They've got presidential elections coming up in August. They've been lurching from one crisis to another. This affords them an opportunity to project strength, flex muscle, send out a message not just to the Modi government, to also to the other, regional parties that have been trying to occupy the space vacated by the Congress party. So many different layers and elements, and Sneha is going to help us analyze some of these. Some reactions coming in. Anila Singh of the BJP is with us live. Anila Singh, your comments, your reactions on the BJP's behalf on Rahul Gandhi appearing before the Enforcement Directorate on June the 13th, and a big call by the Congress for all its big leaders and karyakartas from across the country to converge in Delhi as a show of strength.
What else you can expect from Indian National Confused Party? A party of corrupts, a party of psycho friends. Like in past also, many of the senior leaders of Congress had been summoned by the ED or the other agencies. They had come, they had given their statement, or the agencies have interrogated them. They went back. But now, when Rahul Gandhi had been summoned, then who is the Congress? They are going to show their strength. What they want to portray to the country or the whole of the world, that if the senior most leader or the prince or the dynarch has done something wrong, I don't know whether he has done something wrong or not. The future is going to tell. But if he has done something, an agency has summoned him, so you are going to show your strength. What type of dadagiri is this? Doesn't Congress have got another work to do? They are simply wasting the time. It shows that why Congress is reducing in this country. Because they are advocating for a wrong person for the wrong reason.
Okay, Anila Singh from the BJP saying this is a flexing of psychopathy and dynasty politics within the Congress party and it's a waste of national time. Well, I can't say I'm surprised because the Congress party will be looking at every single opportunity to highlight its strength and to project power. And what better opportunity than Rahul Gandhi being summoned by the Enforcement Directorate? Expect large numbers, visual spectacle, big Congress crowds in the national capital come June the 13th. You heard it first, obviously, here on India Today. And let's jump now straight into our spotlight story on 5 Live here on India Today. It's a campaign that we're running on how potholes have become center stage for every single Bengalurian. Even as the netas bicker over Chaddi and Nikkar, the people of Bengaluru are having to navigate dangerously over death-defying potholes on so many roads that they have lost count. They've practically become off-roaders as a result of the urban mess, whereas cities cannot even promise the people of Bengaluru safe and flat roads to drive on. This is what many roads in Bengaluru looks like. If you think this is an exaggeration, speak to any Bengaluru person you know. They'll tell you what it's really like in their city. Karnataka ministers, and the reason why I'm highlighting this story today on 5 Live Viewer is because Karnataka goes to the elections in less than a year from now. It's an opportunity for citizen power to be heard perhaps even louder than at any other time. Take a look at what happened today. India Today's reporter Karthik found a road that was so stupefyingly riddled with potholes that he decided to report from there. And as you will see in this report, India Today is taken seriously because we forced the government to listen to our journalism and act. Take a look.
The countless potholes of Bengaluru. India's IT city is crumbling day by day as the rulers get busy with more important issues like, you guessed it right, Chaddi politics. Commuters travelling on the Bengaluru-Mysuru road navigate these potholes, dodging danger day in, day out. These images capture the road ridden with potholes which bears semblance to the lunar surface. A complete nightmare to riders and commuters. Despite several complaints, the BBMP has not repaired the stretch of potholes on the road. That is when India Today hit the roads and forced the powers that be out of their slumber. Road rollers and JCBs jumped into action to level the road after our continuous coverage. While there is no end to civic apathy in Karnataka, which goes into elections next year, the ruling BJP and opposition Congress are involved in a raging Chaddi war.
ಚಡ್ಡಿ ಸುಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರು ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ನಾ ಸುಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಚಡ್ಡಿ ಸುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಪ್ಪ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರು ಇದ್ರು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಚಡ್ಡಿ ಸುಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಚಡ್ಡಿ ಸುಡೋದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು
ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ he doesn't have any other subject. So he is talking about such things. And people of Karnataka are looking into all these things. We have to talk about Karnataka development, production, future of Karnataka. I think some good sense would prevail on him.
The misplaced priorities of politicians is evident when Chaddi is the priority and not roads. Bureau Report, India Today.
And that's really the problem with what's happening in Bengaluru, because even as potholes like these are everywhere for people to see in the city, the politicians there, whether it's the ruling BJP or the opposition Congress, it's all about the knicker, the Chaddi politics. I mean, just take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. These are two pictures of two agenda-setting stories over the last 24 hours here on India Today. On the left-hand side of your screen, the real issue, the potholed roads, citizen chaos, citizen pain and agony. Remember, those potholes have even killed citizens of Bengaluru in the last few years. And on the right-hand side, well, knickers and chaddis being collected in boxes to make a larger political point over the textbook controversy. Not an illegitimate story, totally a valid story, but there's a matter of priorities we must highlight, and we take that responsibility very seriously here on India Today. Two pictures that tell the full story. Bengaluru is one of India's most progressive, cosmopolitan, syncretic cities. It's India's garden city. It's India's Silicon Valley. It's India's IT hub. But just take a look at how, while Chaddi politics has become headline number one in Bengaluru, let me just list off the top of my head the 10 biggest civic issues. The pothole menace is something we've just highlighted. You've seen it. Untarred roads, kacha roads in different parts of the city itself is another. Severe waterlogging every time there's even a little bit of rain is another nightmare that the people of Bengaluru have to grapple with. There's very, very poor garbage management in different parts of Bengaluru. If you have friends in Bengaluru, you've obviously heard them complain endlessly about the terrible traffic, and believe me, they're not exaggerating. It's a nightmare in many parts of the city. There are open stormwater drains in different parts of Bengaluru which pose a health hazard. High levels of pollution in different parts of Bengaluru have converted it from garden city to garbage city. There is water scarcity even now. It's a city that is fed by the Kaveri, but water scarcity in different parts of the city. The disappearing lakes of Bengaluru, the terrible foam that we've seen on the Bellandur and other lakes is another, terrible, terrible crisis in that city. And green cover has been reduced and is continuing to be reduced in the city of Bengaluru. It's no longer garden city. Greenery is going down. 8,000 trees recently have been cut as well in the city. So this is a problem that is festering. This is a problem that has become more pronounced in the last few days. And look at this road that has suddenly today become the face of the Bengaluru crisis like perhaps no other. We've counted the potholes on this one little road. It looks like the lunar surface, but this is a road in Bengaluru. It's become familiar because apathy has now been normalized. Civic and urban decay has been normalized. Civil society groups have tried their best. But at the end of the day, after a little bit of rain, this is what is happening to roads in some of our most progressive and well-managed cities. The question now is, can this be accepted? With elections coming up, will the spotlight remain on these issues? Take a look. We went to this road and forced the government to take notice and effect change. Take a look at this report.
I'm currently at the Bengaluru-Mysore road, and just after India Today reported about this stretch of unmotorable road here, a JCB and also road roller had just been used to level this road. And here you can see, although one side of the road has been leveled, the other side of the road, the potholes still remain. And despite leveling, here you can see the road still remains uneven, and here you can see a pothole that still remains here. And vehicles, trucks and bikes still continue to face difficulties difficulties in trying to pass through this road. Although this may be a temporary fix, when will the government wake up and fix such roads? When will government repair these roads permanently before it rains once again and these potholes show up once again is something we'll have to wait and watch. With video journalist Madhu, this is Karthik for India Today.
And since we're on the topic of civic apathy and a shocking image that would, be painful to any person who lives in our beautiful cities in the south, let's take you from Bengaluru now to Chennai. And there's a visual there as well that I want to show you today on 5 Live. An SUV fell into a storm water ditch that is under construction in Chennai's Adyar area. The driver of the car, a doctor by profession, was unable to detect this recently dug storm drain pit right in the middle of the road. The car fell into it, got wedged diagonally with its rear wheels in the air. The driver got stuck inside the car. He was unable to move out. He's a doctor. Thankfully, he was able to escape with a few injuries. The Tamil Nadu government last year made a promise that there will be no more water stagnation in the city and initiated a network of stormwater drainage systems. Unfortunately, this has led to these horrible, scarring pits dug out across the city. But the work seems to be progressing in an extremely slow manner, causing such horrible hazards to commuters. The person driving this car could easily have been grievously injured or possibly even lost his life. This image from Adyar, which is a very built-up central part of Chennai.
After DMK government came to power, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin vowed that Chennai will not float during the monsoon season. And one of the plans he had is to create a vast stormwater drainage system. So on one side, it was supposed to become a boon for the commuters in Chennai, but at the same time, it is also turned into a danger because on Tuesday, one of the vehicles which was coming out of this particular building fell into this ditch. It is actually a 5 feet deep ditch, and the person who was driving the vehicle did not have a clue as to this ditch was present over here because this was a freshly dug out ditch, and here you could even see the tire marks and the parts of the vehicle which are still on the ground. And it is right time for the Greater Chennai Corporation authorities to make sure safety protocols are followed while constructing stormwater drainage, digging ditch for be it stormwater drainage or any other project. Safety protocols must be followed. With videos Divyan, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
And from Chennai, we take you to Thiruvananthapuram and other parts of Kerala, where the gold scam has erupted afresh, bringing a huge showdown between Swapna Suresh, who chose to speak exclusively to India Today, and the Pinarayi Vijayan government. While citing a threat to her life live on India Today, Swapna Suresh also claimed that Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan knew about the accused's involvement in the gold scam and claimed that he too was involved. But the Kerala Chief Minister has refuted the allegations, claiming that it was mere propaganda formed during the state elections. Pinarayi Vijayan further said that the allegations against him were baseless and politically motivated. Meanwhile, former Minister K.T. Jalil, an accused in the gold smuggling case, has filed a police complaint against the allegations made by Swapna Suresh. Widespread protests have erupted as the clamour for Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan's resignation intensifies.
Adi Shiv Aroor konduponam. Accused 6 Swapna Suresh aanu. Pinne Swapna Suresh ne konduponam. Accused 7th aaya Sarithine oru intimation illade egine thooki edutha vandi ketti kondupovan pattum. Pazhaye oru case aanennaanu avaru parayunnathu. Police pazhaye edu case life mission aanu vigilance anneshicchondirikkunnathu. Life mission allade vigilance vera oru summons notice thannitilla. Let them prove. Appo vigilance aaranu? Vigilance il irikkunna officers aaru parayunnadanu anusarikkunnathu. Ipo aaru parayunnu endondu innu ravile endondu veetil tattikondu poyilla endondu veetilullavaru ariyikkan sambayichilla endana mobile switch off cheyidu bandappadan kayunnu pinnedi mobile bell adikkairunnu edukkan sambayichittilla ipo switch off aanu ee tattikondu poy
ഈ മഹാപ്രളയം പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ ഞാൻ ഈ നൂറ്റാണ്ടിലെ ആ പ്രളയത്തിന്റെ കുത്തൊഴുക്കിനെ കൂടി കവച്ചു വെക്കത്തക്ക രീതിയിലായിരുന്നില്ലേ കഴിഞ്ഞ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പിൽ ഈ സർക്കാരിനെ അപകീർത്തിപ്പെടുത്താനുള്ള വലിയ നുണ പ്രചാരവേലകൾ എന്തെല്ലാം ഏതെല്ലാം തട്ടിക്കൂട്ടി ഈ സർക്കാരിനെതിരെ പടച്ചുണ്ടാക്കി? എന്തേ LDF വീണ്ടും അധികാരത്തിൽ വരാൻ കാരണം? ജനങ്ങൾ നെഞ്ചു തൊട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു, ഇത് ഞങ്ങളുടെ സർക്കാരാണ്, ഞങ്ങളോടൊപ്പം നിന്ന സർക്കാരാണ്, ഏത് ആപൽഘട്ടത്തിലും ഞങ്ങളെ കൈയൊഴിയാൻ തയ്യാറായിട്ടില്ല. അതാണ് നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യം. അതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ടാണ് സർക്കാർ വീണ്ടും അധികാരത്തിൽ വന്നത്. തുടരുന്നത് അതേ നയമാണ്. അവരവരുടെ നയം തുടരും കേട്ടോ, അത് നടക്കട്ടെ, അത് പല രീതിയിൽ നടക്കും. ഇത് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടതാണല്ലോ. ഞാൻ ആ ഭാഗത്തേക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ കടക്കുന്നില്ല. നിങ്ങളുടെ സമ്മേളനം അതിനുള്ള വേദിയാക്കി ഞാൻ മാറ്റുന്നുമില്ല. അത് അതിന്റെ വഴിക്ക് പോകട്ടെ.
Against the allegation made by Swapna Suresh and against the conspiracy, it is led by Mr. PC Jones with Swapna Suresh. Already given the petition and they will take action. I expect that.
Sir, there's a serious allegation saying that...
No serious allegation. These are the allegations. Those are continuing for the last 2 years in the state. Baseless allegations. This is a BJP conspiracy. BJP and UDF, they are trying to tarnish the existing LDF government.
It is known that there was smuggling, illegal smuggling that had happened. What did the central agencies do with regard to those who sent the gold to Kerala? And those who were the beneficiaries, those who were to receive it? Did they arrest anybody? No. So the primary culprits are allowed to be scot-free even today. At the same time, they are trying to make political capital out of very wild allegations, unfounded allegations against people of impeccable integrity like Pinarayi Vijayan.
Startling revelations by the prime accused, Swapna Suresh, has created a lot of questions before the public of Kerala and India. This act of the Chief Minister is a very grave one and it is concern to everybody. As an anti-national activity has been taken place with the help of the Chief Minister, his office, and a lot more people are involved in it. For the last 3 years, we the opposition was raising this issue. But unfortunately, the investigating agencies were not ready to interrogate the Chief Minister or his office or his dear and near. That is why now things are coming up.
We have made such an allegation that there were middlemen among the Sangha Parivar, the central government and the CPM state leadership. These middlemen worked and they reached an agreement that the investigation should not continue further. Now it has revealed a grave allegation that Chief Minister was aware of and he was also a part of this currency transaction. This is a very serious allegation. So a serious investigation should be done on this matter under the guidance of the concerned court, High Court or some other court. And we don't believe in central agencies and state agencies.
Well, gold scam accused Swapna Suresh has accused Chief Minister of Kerala Pinarayi Vijayan and his family of involvement in the infamous gold smuggling scandal, where she also claims that goods were allegedly moved to the Chief Minister's official residence in biryani vessels. And Swapna Suresh spoke to India Today last evening, a video that's gone viral. Take a look.
Gold scam is back to haunt Kerala CM Pinarayi Vijayan. The prime accused, Swapna Suresh, has accused Vijayan and his family of involvement in the smuggling racket. Swapna pointed fingers directly at the CM for the first time since the scam was exposed 2 years ago.
Way back in 2016,
ഹോണറബിൾ ചീഫ് മിനിസ്റ്റർ ദുബായിൽ പോയ സമയത്താണ് ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ശിവശങ്കർ എന്നെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. കോൺസുലേറ്റിൽ സെക്രട്ടറി ആയിട്ട് ഇരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ പറഞ്ഞു ഹോണറബിൾ ചീഫ് മിനിസ്റ്റർ ഒരു ബാഗ് മറന്നുപോയി, ആ ബാഗ് ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് എത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന് ദുബായിൽ എത്തിച്ചു തന്നെ ആവണം. അങ്ങനെ നമ്മളുടെ കോൺസുലേറ്റിലൊരു ഡിപ്ലോമാറ്റ് അഹമ്മദ് ദുക്കി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ഡിപ്ലോമാറ്റിൻ്റെ കയ്യിലാണ് ഈ ബാഗ് കൊടുത്തുവിടുന്നത്.
Swapna also claimed goods were allegedly moved to Chief Minister's official residence in biryani vessels, but she refused to reveal the contents of the vessels.
സർപ്രൈസിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ബിരിയാണി വെസൽസ് വിത്ത് ഹ്യൂജ് വെയ്റ്റ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ബിരിയാണി മാത്രമല്ല, അതിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയോ മെറ്റൽ ഓബ്ജക്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നതായിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് പ്രാവശ്യം ഈ ബിരിയാണി വെസൽസ് കോൺസുലേറ്റ് ജനറലിൻ്റെ റെസിഡൻസ് ജവഹർ നഗറിൽ നിന്ന് ക്ലിഫ് ഹൗസിൽ ശിവശങ്കറിന്റെ ഇൻസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ പ്രകാരം.
The Kerala government has called Swapna's allegations baseless. In a statement, CM Pinarayi Vijayan said it was his government that demanded a detailed inquiry into the case by the central government. He added that there is no change in his government stand, that stern action must be taken in the case. The opposition is up in arms. The Youth Congress hit the streets in Thiruvananthapuram and burnt the effigy of the Kerala CM, demanding his resignation.
When the investigation is going on, the Chief Minister should not continue in his position. We need a fair investigation. He should not be in his chair. So he has to resign, and investigation should be done under the leadership of the concerned court. That is our demand.
The Kerala gold scam hit national headlines after it was revealed how gold was being smuggled into the state through diplomatic channels. In July 2020, the Customs Department seized 30 kilos gold worth 14.82 crore rupees, blowing the lid off the multi-crore scam. The customs officials nabbed Swapna Suresh, a former employee of the UAE consulate in Kerala, in July 2020. Swapna had allegedly forged documents to misuse diplomatic privilege to smuggle gold from UAE. After spending 16 months behind bars, Swapna was released on bail in November. Earlier this year, Swapna Suresh had alleged that she was exploited and manipulated by M. Shivashankar, Principal Secretary of Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Bureau Report, India Today.
After this very, very short commercial break, we've got a huge update on the Sidhu Moosewala blood trail. One of the key figures in the assassination conspiracy has broken under interrogation and revealed many, many details. There's another Punjabi singer who says he's under threat. What's the truth? We'll ask the questions next.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com or call 9999892171. India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% pure prime time. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
You are watching in
There was a lull in the classrooms, but with COVID cases subsiding, swing sets aren't empty anymore and schools are back in action. As children are sent back to the classrooms, here's a look at how they go to school. The National Achievement Survey 2021 conducted by the Ministry of Education looked at different parameters of how Indian school children feel about school. The survey was administered by the CBSE and looked at a sample size of 34 lakh students in classes 3, 5, 8 and 10. As opposed to the common notion, 96% of children said they liked going to school and 94% said they felt safe in school. About 78% of children spoke the same language at home as in school. About 89% of students come back home and share lessons with their family members. And 85% of kids read or watch material other than their assigned textbooks. A majority, that's 48% of children walk to school, 9% use public transport, 9% use school transport, and 29% use personal transport. Of the 29% using private transport, 18% rode bicycles, 8% used two-wheelers, and 3% used four-wheelers.
During my teenage years, video game was played just for time pass. But today, video games are killing people. A 16-year-old boy in Lucknow shot his mother dead because she did not let him play the PUBG game. Not only that, after hiding the mother's body in another room and ensured that it was all perfumed, he called his friends home, ordered an anda curry for dinner and had a party. So what is this PUBG game? How is it becoming so addictive? And importantly, what can the government do despite restrictions if these teenagers are not only playing the game, getting addictive, but killing their family members? Do not miss that shocking development coming in at 6 p.m. prime with me, Pooja Shali, an issue that concerns us all.
Big update on the investigation into Sidhu Moosewala's murder case. The Punjab police has sought a red corner notice against gangster Goldie Brar, the man who claimed responsibility for the assassination of the Punjabi superstar. Goldie Brar had gone to Canada in 2017 on a student visa. He is an associate of Lawrence Bishnoi. The Punjab police have already forwarded their request for a red corner notice to the centre at this point of time, to the CBI. A red corner notice would basically alert police forces all across the world, including in Canada, that would perhaps aid in the rounding up and arrest and possible extradition of gangster Goldie Brar, the man who, sitting in Canada, has taken responsibility for the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. Tanseem Haider live with me on this full story. Breaking here on India Today. Tanseem, रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस का रिक्वेस्ट गया है पंजाब पुलिस की तरफ से, ये कब जारी होगा ये रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस, और उसके बाद क्या एग्जैक्टली होगा, बताइए तंसीम।
जी शिव, देखिए रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस के लिए जिस दिन सिद्धू मूसेवाला का कत्ल हुआ उसके 10 दिन पहले यानी 19 तारीख को 19 मई को ये नोटिस जो है ये भेजा गया था, ये रिक्वेस्ट भेजी गई थी, प्रपोजल बना के भेजा गया था पंजाब पुलिस की तरफ से और सीबीआई को भेजा गया था, क्योंकि सीबीआई वो अथॉरिटी है जो इंटरपोल से जुड़ी है और रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी कर सकती है। लिहाजा 19 मई को ये लिखा गया है चिट्ठी और इस पे अब कोशिश की जा रही है सीबीआई की तरफ से भी कि इसमें रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी कर दिया जाए, क्योंकि ये ऐसा गैंगस्टर है जिसके ऊपर दर्जनों एक्सटॉर्शन, मर्डर के केसेस दर्ज है, जो 2017 से फरार है और बताया जाता है कि कनाडा में शरण ले रखी है इसने। तो जाहिर है ऐसे में अगर रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी करता है तो इंटरपोल के जरिए जो गोल्डी को कनाडा से हिंदुस्तान लाया जा सकता है, लाने में आसानी होगी। अब ये सवाल उठता है कि हमारे हिंदुस्तान की एक्स्ट्राडिशन ट्रीटी जो है वो इस देश के साथ नहीं होती है, उसमें थोड़ी मुश्किलें जरूर आती हैं, लेकिन कई मामलों में ऐसा देखा गया है कि एक्स्ट्राडिशन ट्रीटी ना होने के बावजूद भी उस क्रिमिनल, उस अपराधी को विदेश से हिंदुस्तान लाया गया है। तो ऐसे में कोशिश, ये एक बड़ी कोशिश मानी जा सकती है कि अगर पंजाब पुलिस चाहती है, मेरा ख्याल है ये काम शिव बहुत पहले हो जाना चाहिए था, क्योंकि गोल्डी बराड़ और लॉरेंस बिश्नोई आज से क्राइम नहीं कर रहे हैं, कई साल से क्राइम कर रहे हैं और उन्होंने राजस्थान, दिल्ली, हरियाणा, पंजाब, हिमाचल बड़े बड़े क्राइम, बड़ी बड़ी वारदातों को अंजाम दिया है। लेकिन खैर देर आए दुरुस्त आए वाली कहावत है, लेकिन ऐसा माना जा रहा है कि अब सीबीआई इसमें अपना कदम आगे बढ़ाएगी और रेड कॉर्नर नोटिस जारी करने के बाद गोल्डी बराड़ को विदेश से यहाँ लाने की कोशिश की जाएगी। शिव, तो जाहिर है कि एक बड़ा कदम है पंजाब पुलिस की तरफ से और ये चिट्ठी सिद्धू मूसेवाला के खत के 10 दिन पहले लिखी गई थी। ये आप समझ लीजिए, इससे अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं हम कि इस सिद्धू मूसेवाला के कत्ल की सुगबुगाहट कहीं ना कहीं कोई कॉन्स्पिरेसी ऐसी हो रही थी। मैं आपको बता दूं, जब विक्की मिद्दू खेड़ा का कत्ल हुआ था तब भी मीडिया में रिपोर्ट्स आई थी, इंडिया टुडे ने भी इस बात को रिपोर्ट किया था कि एक सिंगर है, जबकि हमने नाम उसमें उजागर नहीं किया था, लेकिन ये जरूर बताया था कि एक सिंगर इस गैंग के निशाने पर है, उसका कत्ल किया जा सकता है। तब से लेकर अब तक पंजाब पुलिस लगातार इस कोशिश में रही कि कहीं ना कहीं से हम आनंद फानंद में इस गैंग को फेल्योर कर दे, इसके प्लान को, लेकिन उसने अपना प्लान एग्जीक्यूट किया और अपना प्लान करके दिखाया और उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी।
Okay, Tansi Mehta, thank you very much for that important news break. Red corner notice request goes from the Punjab police to the CBI to aid in the possible arrest and extradition of Goldie Brar, the gangster who's taken responsibility. Now let me tell you who Goldie Brar is. We all know him as an associate of Lawrence Bishnoi, but let me tell you a little bit more about a man of whom only his face and some rough whereabouts are known. Let me introduce you to gangster Goldie Brar. He's the man who claims to have executed Sidhu Moosewala's murder, and that right there is the only picture that currently exists of him. He's known for changing his appearance from time to time, which is why there are many different images of him. They don't all actually look alike. We do know that he is termed as an A+ category gangster. That's the highest category there is. And he's a person who has on the record claimed to have carried out this entire execution. He's based out of Canada, but obviously has a network in India, and he is linked and connected to Lawrence Bishnoi, who is sitting in Tihar jail. In fact, we've got some more breaking news coming in now on this case. We're hearing now, viewer, that a team of the Mumbai crime branch has gone to Delhi to question Lawrence Bishnoi. Big, important update coming in. A Mumbai police crime branch team has gone to Delhi to question gangster Lawrence Bishnoi. This obviously has to do with the death threats to Salman Khan. Remember that Lawrence Bishnoi has already denied having any hand in the death threat letter to Salman Khan. But the very fact that Lawrence Bishnoi, both in 2018 and 2020, had spoken about a conspiracy to kill Salman Khan. Now you have a Mumbai police crime branch team departing for Delhi to grill Lawrence Bishnoi, the gangster who is in Tihar jail and whose gang has taken responsibility for the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. Let's go across to Mustafa Sheikh, breaking the story first in exclusive here on India Today. Mustafa, this is part of the investigation into the threat to Salman Khan. Mumbai Police Crime Branch leaves for Delhi. Tell us more.
Yes, of course, Shiv. Since Sunday, when the threat letter was received, there is no breakthrough in the case as of now. The main lead which remains in the hands of police is Bishnoi, and that's why the police has a unit 1 of crime branch team has gone to Delhi to interrogate Bishnoi and ask him whether he is aware about the threat which has been given to Salman Khan, because Lawrence Bishnoi is the only remaining link as of now. What Mumbai police is doing here is going through CCTV footage, trying to locate the person who threatened Salman Khan. But it's very much clear that Mumbai police is looking into this angle, whether the
was given to Salman Khan and Salim Khan was from Lawrence Bishnoi and from Goldie Branch. So that's the angle which the Mumbai police is further probing by sending a crime branch team official. If there is any update in the case that can be corroborated with Lawrence Bishnoi, that's something which the Mumbai police is trying to do at this point of time. Back to you, Shiv.
The Mumbai police crime branch team has reached Delhi. As a matter of fact, they are on their way to the Tihar jail to interrogate Lawrence Bishnoi. You know, obviously the line of questioning can be imagined, Mustafa. The death threat letter, the 2018 video where Lawrence Bishnoi had actually threatened Salman Khan, the interrogation that took place in 2021 as well. All of these are there. There are many different conspiracy angles and elements based on which the Mumbai Police Crime Branch will be questioning Lawrence Bishnoi. And last but not least, the letter that was found at Bandra Bandstand.
Yes, of course, that's the important thing, because it is important for the Mumbai police to crack this case as soon as possible. The person who had threatened Salman Khan or Salim Khan may also threaten somebody else or take any step which can further endanger the security of Salman and Salim Khan. So that's why the Mumbai police is acting fast. The only available lead at this point of time with Mumbai police is Lawrence Bishnoi, who is lodged in the Tihar jail. One team has been sent there. By the time the CCTV footages are analyzed and they come to a conclusion whether it was a serious threat by the gang members of Goldie Branch and Lawrence Bishnoi or it was some individual mischief, the Mumbai police has sent simultaneously the team to Delhi. So to corroborate the facts, as you rightly said, the Delhi police special cell has already questioned Lawrence Bishnoi, who has denied any involvement in Salman Khan threat case, but it seems that Mumbai police is not believing those statements as of now. And personally, to verify these details of the threat of Salman Khan, they have sent a team to Delhi to investigate with Lawrence Bishnoi. Back to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Mustafa. We'll keep a track of that story. The India Today news break on that death letter to Salman Khan, obviously unfolding in a very, very rapid manner. That team is here in Delhi to interrogate Lawrence Bishnoi. We'll keep a track of that and get you an update on that very, very quickly. Now, singer Sidhu Moosewala's horrific gangster-style assassination has brought out the dark side of the Punjabi music industry into the spotlight. Well, another Punjabi singer, Mankirat Aulak, very famous, has now revealed that his life has been under constant threat for the last 1 year. He is the latest to come out and say that he's under threat. Sharing a post on Instagram, Mankirat Aulak has written, and I quote, "From almost 1 year, I am constantly getting threats. It's not a normal thing to live your each passing day with such a sensitive environment around you, both mentally and physically." In fact, the Punjabi singer also released a video on his social media rubbishing allegations of his alleged involvement in the murder of singer Sidhu Moosewala. The video released was with Moosewala's mother. Mankirat Aulak said that he cannot think of getting Moosewala killed since it involves snatching a son from his mother.
So mother ye kariye idhar aage aine kursi to utke no.
Well, Moosewala was shot dead nearly 2 weeks ago, but he isn't the only Punjabi singer that has faced murderous assault. You've got Mankirat Aulak now coming out and speaking about the threat to his life, and there have been so many others in the last few weeks, months and years who are now coming out and speaking about it. Several singers from Punjab who have encountered assaults. Here's a reminder of just how many there are.
Pushing the limits. going right for the jugular in his songs. The singer who turned Punjab's hip-hop scene upside down is shot dead.
ये अपनी गाड़ी में जा रहे थे, ये खुद ड्राइव कर रहे थे, इनके साथ 2 प्राइवेट लोग थे। फायरिंग हुई और फायरिंग में इनको बुलेट इंजरी हुई और जब इनको हॉस्पिटल ले जाया गया, then he was declared brought dead.
The voice embracing fiery spirit silenced forever.
Sidhu Moosewala isn't the only Punjabi singer to be in the line of gang fire. Several other Punjabi singing sensations in the past too have faced threats, bullets, and even lethal attacks. In June 2019, Punjabi singer Karan Aujla was attacked in Canada. He survived the firing in Surrey. A Punjab-based gang first took responsibility but later denied. Parmesh Verma, who owes his fame to his song Gaal Nahi Kadni, was shot at allegedly at the orders of a local gangster in Mohali the same year in April. The bullet hit his leg, but he survived the attack. Punjabi folk singer Dilshad Akhtar was shot and killed on stage in 1996, allegedly by a police official because he refused to sing a third-party song on demand. Hailed as the Elvis Presley of Punjab, Amar Singh Chamkila and his wife Amarjot Kaur fell to firing from an AK-47 on their troop in 1988. From folk, pop to rap, the singers of Punjab have been the brand ambassadors of the region across the world. It's an irony of fate that they have to move about with tight security at home, staying in the crosshairs of threats, some even fatal. Harmeet Shah Singh for India Today in New Delhi.
And Sidhu Moosewala's Antim Ardas and Bhog were held today in Mansa in Punjab. Just like during his cremation, thousands gathered at Moosewala's native place in Punjab's Mansa. Meanwhile, sensational details of the Moosewala murder plot are out. Gangster Kekda, who we had exposed here on India Today yesterday, also known as Sandeep, has revealed murder recce details to the Punjab police. Kekda has shared inputs with the shooters that the singer was not accompanied by his security personnel. He also is claimed to have told the killers about the number of occupants, vehicle details, and that Moosewala was traveling in a non-bulletproof vehicle. Kekda shared all this info with the shooters and handlers operating from abroad. A CCTV video accessed by India Today shows Kekda posing as a fan outside Moosewala's house just 10 minutes before the singer was gunned down on May the 29th. The Punjab police on Thursday said it has arrested 8 people so far, Tuesday I beg your pardon, in connection with the murder of Moosewala. The police say they've been held on the charges of providing logistical support, conducting a recce and harbouring the shooters of the singer. And here's a full report on the Kekda angle in this story.
Single biggest CCTV evidence. It could turn the Sidhu Moosewala murder probe. India Today has accessed exclusive images of Moosewala's house taken just 10 minutes before he was gunned down. The footage shows people taking selfies near Moosewala's SUV. India Today has learnt that one of them was Kekda, aka Sandeep. Punjab police arrested Kekda on Monday evening. According to sources, Kekra pretended to be a Moosewala fan and was outside his residence. Kekra loitered outside the singer's residence for over 45 minutes. It is alleged that Kekra tipped off the shooters when Moosewala left his home. After the alleged tip-off, killers had started tailing Moosewala. The contract killers had used 2 cars, a Mahindra Bolero utility vehicle and a Toyota Corolla sedan. With each passing day, the details of the plot to kill Moosewala are getting murkier. Bureau Report, India Today.
When the latest as part of a series of very polarizing news reports coming out of Bengaluru in Karnataka, a video of college students in Bengaluru fixing Veer Savarkar's photo frame in a classroom has gone viral in local media. The college is said to be located at Hampankatta in Bengaluru. Recently, the Udupi District Police removed a signboard that said Padugiri Nathuram Godse Road that was put out there by some miscreants. The board was installed by the roadside in Bolagram Panchayat of the Karkala Taluk. Well, after a Godse road sign, a Veer Savarkar photo frame in a classroom in Bengaluru. Fringe elements, miscreants, even though the word fringe no longer carries its original meaning in light of the Nupur Sharma controversy, these are actual fringe elements here that have apparently grabbed viral attention on social media and the local media by putting up a picture frame of Veer Savarkar inside a classroom. And we're taking you straight to Hyderabad now on the gang rape case of a minor. Shocking comment from Telangana's Home Minister after the gang rape case exposed by India Today. The Minister, Mahmood Ali, says the world is now advanced. People have phones and WhatsApp. Kids are now mature. It's the parents' responsibility. If boys and girls get freedom, it will be difficult to control them, says the Home Minister of Hyderabad. He's blaming phones, WhatsApp and parents for the gang rape that has taken place in his city. Unbelievable. The Home Minister of Telangana has said that freedom given to kids is the reason why this gang rape has taken place. That's the inference. Take a listen.
ज़माना एडवांस हो चुका है, लोगों के पास फ़ोन आ चुके हैं, व्हाट्सएप आ चुके हैं, बच्चे बिगड़ रहे हैं, वो पेरेंट्स की जिम्मेदारी है। देखिए, मैं तमाम पेरेंट्स से अपील करना चाहता हूँ, बच्चों पे आप अच्छी नज़र रखना चाहिए, अपने बच्चों और बच्चियों पर। दोनों अगर फ्रीली फिरते रहेंगे, फ्रीली रहेंगे तो डेफिनेट उसे रोकना मुश्किल हो जाएगा। आने वाले टाइम पर किस तरह हम इसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, ज़रूर कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करें।
Easily the most shocking story today. A young teenager in Lucknow murdered his mother because she didn't allow him to play his favorite video game, PUBG. And he kept the corpse of the mother inside his house for 2 days. That shocking, hair-raising story with Pooja next.
India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.